How do I get out? Okay, this gets us high up enough. So let's just kind of crawl up the waterfall here. I think this might be our best option. I will see you guys when I get to the top. There is somebody singing a very loud song right now. That's kind of crazy. Whoa, okay. Okay, so I think it's at this point where we're just going to have to start crawling up. Going slow. I think I can actually make my way over here. And then... Oh, that's a hard jump. I'm just going to... Okay, now is about the time that I would like to be able to settle down. I don't even know which direction. Okay, there's the water. Let's go this way. That was cool. I think there's going to be more opportunities for that kind of thing. I just, unfortunately, I think that that's just going to be a little too much for us right now. We just don't have room for anything. Like, I don't have room for anything right now. And so I need to just focus on what is important. Like, there are things we can do about it. Like, I think an option would be to, like, smelt the iron and make leggings, because that's 7. That'll free up a spot, so I think next time I need a thing, I'll just kind of do that. That is so strange. What the heck? I've never seen anything like that. It's like a cave spawned here, you know, but then that is very strange to look at. That is so weird. That's another thing that I think is an important thing for me to talk about when I talk about the reason why I like this version as opposed to others. And that being the... I thought I saw... Oh, there it is. And that being the weird generation. Once the Caves and Cliffs came out, which by all means is really cool. But it did 2 things. Number 1, the cliffs, right? The terrain generation got a lot more realistic, which in its own right, once again, is very cool. But I feel like it kind of takes away from that feeling of Minecraft that I think is non-realistic in a lot of ways, you know? And I just really, really like that feeling of just like, it feels like Minecraft. There's no other way for me to really explain that well outside of it's just very distinctly like Minecraft. Like, obviously in real world forest, like this vaguely looks like a real world forest, but it feels just off, you know? There's something off about it. They got rid of the fog, you know, instead of it being like foggy rendering, it's now like blocked up. Like, the fog's just gone, so like you kind of just see how the terrain generates in real time, which, you know, in its own right has its own pluses and minuses. I think the secondary thing that I like to think about is the caves part, where nowadays you have these really cool and they are magnificent looking caves. Like, dude, there is nothing quite like stumbling into this massive cave. So cool, like such a cool feeling in the new versions. But at the same time, you kind of lack the Minecrafty caves, which are these like really small spaghetti caves, are what they're called. And it's so scary. It's so scary in these versions. There's nothing quite like that. Oh, it's just like you're down near bedrock level, and off in the fog you see like a creeper or something, or you just like hear something moving. Whew, dude, shivers down my spine. There is nothing quite like that. I am going to hike it that direction, see if we can't see anything awesome. Hopefully there is something awesome out here to see. Maybe not, but that is my hope. So let's see what we've got. I think this is probably considered an ocean biome. It is a lot larger than it looked like. It kind of looked like just a lake from over there, but this is definitely an ocean. So I think it's cool that we've got a good mix of biomes so far. The one thing that I'm really hoping for is mesa, because speaking of, is that a mesa biome? Did I just drop something? I feel like I did. What did I drop? What was I holding? Well, I mean, it's sunk to the bottom of the ocean now. I'm not getting it back. What was I holding there? I feel like it was something kind of important. No? Because I had a completely full inventory. Anyways, yeah, absolutely. I was just talking about having a mesa biome. This is so exciting. I have been desperately wanting a mesa biome. In my last world that I played through, oh, no, it was a boat. I didn't drop anything. It was a boat. Well, never mind. Forget I said anything. In my last world on this version, I did not have a mesa biome, and it was so sad because there are so many incredible blocks that you get in a mesa biome that you just then, automatically don't have access to because, it's a mesa biome. So, like, you're not gonna really be able to have access to, like, red sand, all of the terracotta colors. That's about it, but it's important. I think it's a big deal, in my opinion, to have every biome, or at least, a good chunk of them. And I think the mesa biome being one of those. Another thing that I was missing on my last world was just, like, there were 0 structures. I think there was 1 jungle temple in the entire world, and that was about it. Which, is fine. It's just, like, there are downsides to these older versions, Like, I sing their praises, but there are definitely... What is that? Adventuring time. 17 of the 40 biomes. Oh, wow. There are definitely things we're going to have to jump into a different world to get all of. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Because there are not going to be 40 biomes in this world. But, like, anyways, back to what I was saying. You in these versions, you definitely lack on the, world capabilities because they are smaller. It's unfortunate for sure, but it is what it is. I mean, there's not a lot you can do about that. It's just, you're going to have some downsides. That's how it's going to be. I'm so glad that this is here, though. It's good to know that we have a mesa biome in this world. I'm going to take a hit and cross my fingers that we have got, well, that sucks, I guess. Let's just, that sucks too. Well, we've got it on the thing. We're just going to go outside of the map. That isn't true. I was going to say I've never settled in a desert. The last world I settled in a desert. And it was fun in its own right, but I don't want to do it again. Obviously, you guys didn't see it. So maybe in the future, if I ever do another world, I would like to probably try and stay in this world for as long as I'm able to. But, I might do another world in the future, like to get all of the achievements or whatever. So we'll see. Here's a savanna biome. That's really cool. Yeah, the last world had no structures, though, that I did, and that was definitely tough. I'm really hoping that there's a village here, because if there isn't, then there's no villager trading at all, which then I wouldn't be able to get mending, which is definitely a problem. So that is something to think about. The only way I would be able to get mending is from resetting my end over and over and over and over again to end raid. Because that is something about this world, or this version. The end is literally the end island, and then one far end island. That's it. So Definitely things to think about whenever you are building these worlds, is because you have to continually reset your end and potentially your nether. Um, you don't have to reset your nether, obviously. It only would happen if you don't have a nether fortress. But the nether, I don't think I'll have to reset. The end, you have to reset over and over and over again. But yeah, I don't know if you have to kill the ender dragon over and over again, though. That is an answer to a question that I just don't have. That is something interesting to think about, because that would just be, I mean, that's the only thing I could possibly think about that could be a problem with the resetting, is that you'd have to continually fight the ender dragon. But hopefully it would just be the far end islands, but I doubt it. It just seems like something that my Mojang would do to you, you know. Let's see what's out here. Nothing. This is the edge of the world. Okay, well, let's go this way then. Oh man, we are going in circles. This might end up being a 2-part or a 3-part series. I might just have to chop it up and post a couple videos a week, because this is insane, dude. Why? I'm also like completely out of food, so I'm gonna have to pause for a second to cook all this up. Luckily I have coal, but oh my gosh, it's just like, why can't I just catch a break? You know? Like, what is that about? This, like, is potentially a cool spot. It's just like, I really don't want to be right here on the edge of the world. And, okay, that'll be good enough for now, I think. For now. Let's grab one more, and then hopefully by the time those go away, we'll be able to make it somewhere. Just somewhere. Anywhere. I'm kind of desperate at this point. I'm looking for the perfect place. You know, if this is going to be the quote-unquote forever world, I need to find that perfect place to settle down. What if I don't find it in a good amount of time? I don't know. I'm kind of getting up to that time period, you know? If I don't find it in the next 10 minutes or so, it's definitely gonna be I'm gonna have to just call it somewhere, and the whole video is just gonna be me wandering around doing nothing. Maybe you guys like to hear me talk. This is just gonna turn into a glorified podcast, you know? Whatever, though. That's kind of how these Let's Plays tend to be anyways, so I guess I won't complain about that too much. I have been told in the past that I should start a podcast because I just talk all the time. So maybe that'll spell good for me. I don't know. I'm running out of things to talk about, but you know what? Every time I look at a new block, that'll give me something else to talk about. Like, I think that this area is pretty. It's just like, do I want to settle near a swamp? I don't know. I don't necessarily hate the swamp, especially on this version. I think the swamps are really pretty because they have those little deltas, which you don't really get in some of the newer versions or some of the older versions. There are obviously biomes that I kind of miss from the newer versions, like the mangrove biome. I think it's so sick. I think it's so sick. I miss that I don't have mud. It is what it is, you know. Whoa. Hello. Definitely unrateable for right now. But that is very cool. I'm so glad that this is here. This could be something really cool for us in the future. Is it possible to clear it out? How do you clear it out? I don't know. But this gives us totems of undying, so maybe I don't want to clear it out. Oh, baby. Okay. So let's grab our map. Let's screenshot our coordinates and move onwards. I don't feel confident walking in there with a stone sword and no armor. That seems like a really bad idea. Ooh, my favorite flower. Oh, what do I do? There's no chance that there's not going to be that. So I'm going to just... Yeah. I'll have to explore this later. There's just no way that I'm going to survive that. There's no way. I suck at this game. I'll have to come back. But this gives us good episodes later, you know? So that's totally fine. Okay. Wow. I'm so glad that that's here. I was just talking about how there's no structures. And I'm really hoping there's a village, which, you know, I mean, I haven't come across yet, so technically no guarantee that there is gonna be one. This would be great as like a good base, like for the future, but like, do we really want to do that? I feel like that would really kind of hinder our creative abilities. I don't want to do that. I think that would be just better to kind of take on later. I think that would be kind of fun. But now that we're close to that, I kind of want to see how far we can get away from it, because I don't want to be too close. That just doesn't seem like a great thing. I would prefer to just keep on moving as I can. So let's see where we can go. Hopefully we find something cool soon. More swamp. More swamp. Okay. I'm feeling a little bit of promise from moving this direction, though. Hello, come on. So hopefully this doesn't spill. I don't mind being near a swamp. Near a swamp, I don't mind. I would mind, however, being in the swamp. So I think this might be a cool area. Hopefully this is like near an ocean, potentially. I think that would be really cool. So let's climb up here and hopefully get to the end, and then maybe we can sleep and call it an intro or an exit. Let's see. I have a good feeling about this, so let's hope. It does kind of look nice. I'm not super vibing with it. Like this spot, at least. There's a desert right there, dark oak right here. Like that could be a nice spot. This little plains clearing could be really nice. I'm not like sold on the idea yet, because I think having some really cool terrain nearby could be cool, but you know, we might just have to kind of not. I don't know. There's a mountain. This is pretty. And there's a ravine here. Just kidding. It's a little cavey area. I don't hate this. I don't. It's pretty basic. It's pretty basic. I really just kind of wonder if there's something else out there. You know? It's like if I start building base here, it's then like a struggle to make it home. But I don't hate it. I think that maybe starting in this little clearing here, like down by the water, is kind of fun. I do kind of like the vibes. I like being down here as well in this little hole. I do love building in the ground, as I said earlier. So, and I think it's cool to see like the mountains in the background. I think that that's very pretty. Maybe like sticking a house here or something in the future. I like having the dark oak right there. I think that that's a cool to have like a dense forest. You can make some just differing biomes all around me. There's spruce, there's birch, there's oak, there's dark oak. The desert is right there. I've hyped myself up. I think I'm going to settle right here. I think that this is a great spot. So let's just plunk all our stuff down and call it good for today. Let's see. Do I have any? No, I don't have any dirt. Let's go ahead and kind of clear off this spot here, though. Put the bed there. We'll put the furnace there, and here we are making it home. Wow, that feels great. Put the torch on top. And let's just dump everything in here for now. We'll organize it next time. Let me hold on to that. And that in there. Let's go ahead and start cooking some of that. That is not what I wanted to do. And with that, everybody, we are home. It's been good seeing you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. We will see you very shortly. Bye.